Instead of talking about fighting, we were only talking about friendship. So we decided to produce a series of documentaries about a special relationship between a survivor of the bombing of Broome, who used to be a pilot also in the 18th Squadron, and a very young Afghanistan-Australia soldier. So it's a series of documentaries. They will not only talk about the experiences during the World War II, which these young Australian veterans had never heard about. They will also go together on a journey and see what else there was found. They will also go back to the Batavia, which was the initial, the first military contact that was ever here between Australia and the Dutch. And they are also looking together forward to the future. They talk about the recent cooperation in Afghanistan. So, and I am talking to the clans and also to the broadcasting companies, but also to the Ministry of Veterans Affairs and Defense Forces, because these documentaries can also be used as training for young soldiers, or and also I think it is about time that we can start looking at reruns of Dad's Army.
Who would like to comment first?
I thought that was a great pitch. The only question I have is that you focus on a soldier and an airman. I mean, what about the Navy? I mean, in other words, if you're going to do something, shouldn't there be some balance between the different arms? And for instance, the Dutch connection with Australia was quite strong during the Second World War, the submarine base in Fremantle, for example. So I would have thought that it would be useful to try and round it out, perhaps. And so
I think this is only, I'm sorry, but this is only my lack of the language. I just didn't, I should use the other term, sorry.
Okay. But otherwise, yeah, it sounds fine.
Yes, okay, thank you very much, Malcolm. Yeah, go ahead.
What I liked about it, your pitch was one of the only pitches who was actually talking about engaging some of the people you are pitching towards. As I understood, I think that you were saying about a young soldier maybe being involved in that sort of thing. The other pitches, I really missed the engagement of the businesses, like engagement of the staff and so on and so on. But you were one of the only ones who thought about that, so well done.
All right, thank you very much. I'd like to comment more.
I think it was good. I like the pitch, it was very eloquent. It'd be good to look at sort of the common values of our friendship, so why and how do we share common values and our common roles, and like our role in the community as peacekeepers and those sorts of things going forward, and why we so often work together and have that friendship, and sort of link it in around that, and maybe like an Australian story sort of twist or theme, if you like. And great idea to engage with the government as well and get their buy-in, and they might use it to sort of foster even deeper, stronger linkages between the Netherlands and Australia, for instance. Thank you very much.
Yeah, you go ahead. Yeah.
Yeah, look, I think this is really... There's a big thing happening in the world where there's this major re-evaluation internationally about the nature of conflict and global political relationships. And if there's something like this that can talk about that big theme and the big subject that's like the elephant in the room that we're all sort of aiming for, but can do it in a very human, a very engaged and a very sort of... You wouldn't want to drift into sentimentality, but, you know, that brought a tear to the eye, then it could be a very, very powerful way to communicate out of the sort of like the human experience that everyone can associate with into a bigger reflection on the broad nature of global political and particularly global military interventions with each other as humans and as global citizens. So I think it's a very powerful idea. You know, obviously like all ideas it needs a bit of development, but there's a very strong theme there that you know, could be mined for an amazing outcome.
Yes, from the audience?
If you're going to talk, if we're going to talk to aim it at the military, you should remember that the oldest bloke in the Australian military is about 56, and that's the CDF. And the average age of the average soldier is about 24, 23, 24. So you're not talking to people my age, you're talking to people 1 and 2 generations younger than me and younger than a lot of people in this room. And so if it's going to be meaningful, you're going to sell it to the generals so they can sell it to the troops. You've got to remember who you're selling it to. They're a lot younger than most people here.
Very good comment.